Today I'm going to be doing something very different on my channel. I'm going to be reacting and giving you a vocal analysis of V from BTS, that beautiful singer from the K-pop band BTS. Now, instead of doing the normal public speaking videos that I normally do, my fans on my channel have been going crazy about deep voices and K-pop artists. So they have been begging me to do a video like this for a very long time. So if you like this video, please make sure you comment below and leave a comment with who you want me to react to next. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Elisa James, holistic voice and presentation coach. And today I'm going to be talking about singing instead of my normal public speaking videos that I normally put up on my channel. Now, this is because there's so many people wanting me to do a vocal analysis about their favorite pop singer. A lot of my speaking students actually don't know that I was a professional actor and singer for more than 35 years. It's how I spent the first half of my life. And then when I retired and I became a voice coach, I got a master's degree in voice and a master's degree in holistic health and healing. And now I put this together and I coach people on how to use their best instrument for life, whether it's singing or acting or speaking. But today we're going to talk about singing. So let's dive in. We're going to start at the very beginning of this beautiful song called Stigma from the artist V from BTS. Let's have a listen. Beautiful. So that was the very first verse. What a gorgeous production. It starts very soft and intimate. So what he's doing with his voice is he's very, very close to the microphone. The reason he's doing that is because he's using a lot of airflow through the folds. And when you blast a lot of airflow through the folds, it becomes very whispery and soft. And if you use the microphone to your advantage, very close, like literally this close, you will be able to hear all the nuances in the voice. It sounds very intimate and very sexy when you get very close to the mic. And that's exactly the sound that he wanted in this particular piece. Now, when you're listening with earphones, it's great because you can actually hear when he's singing that high part of the line in the verse, he's doubling his sound an octave below. Bum, 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 bum. The high note is doing the main melody, and then he's doubling that main melody an octave below, which is 8 notes below the top note. And that doubling gives it that fat sound. Instead of just one voice, you sort of hear a bit of a spread. Just beautiful. Let's hear what happens in the chorus. Nice. What a great chorus. The production in this song is just beautiful. So he's got this very high sound, but sometimes he gets quite a nice closure on the folds. Even though at first it sounded a bit like falsetto, now I can hear that he's getting a little bit of edge in there, which means instead of having really stiff folds and blasting too much airflow, ha, ha, it sounds sort of more Bee Gees like when you blast too much air. It can give a nice soft sort of edge to the sound, but he's actually giving that little bit more closure to get that crispness as well as that blast of air. It's a really nice mix that he's got. I would say that there's far more than just one vocal going on here. If you listen very, very carefully, there's lots of layers going on. And again, he's got that octave. So guaranteed, if he's got that low voice that everybody talks about, V having a beautiful deep voice, I guarantee that it could be him at the bottom end singing that octave below. So he's got this falsetto sort of sound going up here, thin vocal fold closure, and then he's got the octave below with a low larynx position and a little bit more airflow coming through, and that gives that spread. And he's probably, again, very close to the mic on the low part, probably a little bit further away on the high because he's got that more clear sound. So just so you know, as a singer, the further away you get from the mic, the thinner the voice sounds. So if you want a fat sound when you're singing, get close to the mic, get close to the diaphragm of the mic. It fattens the voice and brings out the beautiful nuances in the voice that far away doesn't do. So, there's one more interesting thing. As he's coming back down from that high line, listen carefully, you can hear very clearly where he goes from a thin vocal fold closure with a lot of airflow to suddenly closing his vocal folds into speech for the bottom of the range. Just gorgeous. And it's stylistically great for pop music. You don't do that sort of closure in musical theatre or opera, for instance, but you do this sort of closure in pop music. Anything goes pretty much in pop music. Let's move on. Nice. Oh, that swimmy sound is just so awesome. What a gorgeous production. You have to listen to this 100 times to get all the nuances. He's got other people singing little counter melodies. He's got other people singing harmonies underneath his main harmony. And again, he's doing that octave. I wonder if this is a thing that Kim Taehyung likes to do, octaves. It sounds really fat when he does it, but he's got this beautiful high angelic sound at the top and then this rich fat warmth that supports that angelic sound. I love this verse. It was very different to the first verse. And you don't hear that a lot because normally you repeat verses pretty much the same, but that was completely different sound. Awesome. Let's see what happens in the next chorus. And he did that same thing again when he came all the way down. Then he connects his vocal folds and goes back into speech at the bottom. And he doesn't do that a lot in this song. Most of it's that beautiful high angelic sound. And again, we had all these layers of sound. And I love the way that as he was going up, the bass line was going down in the opposite direction, which makes it feel like it spreads even more. Then you had this little tinkly sound like somebody had been going across a bunch of, what are they called? Like xylophone thingies. Like little Tinkerbell ringing her little bells. It was so pretty. Now, it sounded like he was going somewhere else. So this normally is called a middle eight or a bridge. If it doesn't sound like the verse, it doesn't sound like the chorus, it's something completely different. It's always called a bridge or a middle eight. Let's have a listen.
I'm sorry, my brother. 숨겨도 감춰도 지워지지 않아. Are you calling me a sinner? 무슨 말?
Oh, that was so sexy. Interesting what he's doing here now, because now he's given us a break from that really high sound all the time. And let's face it, one pitch all the time, regardless of what pitch it is too much for the ears. So now he's gone, oh, let's have a complete break and go down, way down. So now he's gone probably an octave or two down lower to where he was, and he's lowered the voice box and opened the pharynx a bit to get that fat sound. And then he's added, I'm sorry, in a really fat sort of thick sound at the bottom. So what he's doing to get that thick sound is he's lowering the voice box, opening the pharynx muscles, which is the side muscles here, the throat muscles, opening the pharynx muscles, dropping the voice box and adding that airflow. Again, super sexy when he does it. Not so sexy when I do it. But oh my God, beautiful. Let's see how it ends.
숨겨도 감춰도 지워지지 않아. So cry, please dry my eyes. 저 빛이 내 죄를 비춰줘. 돌이킬 수 없는 붉은비가 흘러내려. 더 깊이 내 죽을 것만 같아. 그 벌을 받게 해줘. 내 죄를 사해줘.
Just gorgeous. And then it just ends like that. That was so cool. It sounded like one of those runs he was running out of air, because he almost ran out of juice by the time he got to the end of the note. But that last chorus was great, because not only did you have that breakdown section in the middle eight, but then it opened up to a bit of an empty chorus. They took away all the production and just had a little bit of bass going on with his voice, which gave it a really interesting, it's called Break It Down. Taking all the production away and just making the voice stand out, maybe with one other instrument. And then they brought back the whole chorus again, which is awesome. And then he did this improvised line at the top. Ooh, and it was beautiful, because he started with an ooh and went into an e, and he added a lot of twang to the sound. And when you add twang, that forward resonant sound, it sort of cheats and make you sound like you're yelling. But it's not really yelling because it's so high. It's in M2, which is thin vocal fold closure. But when you add twang to the mix, it makes that thin vocal fold closure sound very strong and sort of waily instead of thin like falsetto. It's a very different sound. He's using far more resonance when he does that. Beautiful song, great production. And the last thing that I really love is the use of those two languages coming in. I'm presuming it's Korean. Please tell me if I'm right. It's Korean and English interwoven. Absolutely love this. So thank you so much for whoever told me to do this particular video. I'm absolutely floored with him. I love his voice. I love the production. It is world class. If you want me to do a voice coach reacts video, a vocal analysis on your favorite pop star, please let me know. Post it below in the comments and I'll be happy to shoot a video just for you. I'm Elisa James, Holistic Voice Coach. I'll see you next time.